Hello everybody, this is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com and welcome to our class at Boston Manor. We have some dogs barking in the background. Boston Manor Park in Brentford. Welcome, namaste. We have students here, you can't see them, but they're behind the camera. So this is our first outdoor class since almost a year ago, since the pandemic started. So this is very exciting for me. First time I've actually taught people in person for over a year and a few months. So it's going to be, I've really been looking forward to this. So this class, this whole class, and I know like Orchidea has been through my classes this week and you've come to one, is that the theme has been about asymmetry. So I always say like asymmetry doesn't sound very sexy. It's like, what is asymmetry? But what it really means is out of balance. And so we're going to do we're going to work through balances, not just one-legged balances, but also balancing out our bodies. Getting to know our bodies as, the right half and the left half, how even they are, or how out of balance they are, how asymmetric they are. And we're going to also some of us are stronger on the upper body, some of us are stronger on the on the lower body. So these are the things we're going to look at, front and back. I did a class just recently on the front and the back body, which was really fun. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take all of this and bring it together for this hour-long class. So we'll start sitting in our cross-legged seat. Any seat. You can even sit on your knees if it's more comfortable. I'm going to actually sit on my knees today, sit on my heels, I mean. And let's just let our eyes close for the next few moments. Find a way to sit that is just perfect for you. And either the eyes are closed or you're going to keep your gaze downward for just the next few moments. And being outside, we get this amazing experience of having this connection to nature. We're in a park, so it's even more so. And so just take this moment and let yourself actually experience what it's like to be outside. What are you feeling as the wind, the breeze blows against your skin? What are you hearing? There's lots of different sounds you don't normally hear when you're in a yoga studio or in your home. And begin to now connect with the breath. And as we connect with the breath, explore the shape of your body. Now, when we have a symmetrical, none of us are symmetrical. We all have a little asymmetry, or a lot of asymmetry. So the first thing is to kind of check out your sit bones, make sure they're both settled comfortably on the ground or on your heels. Your lower body is heavy. It's the ground. It's your root system. And then from the root system, from the belly, from the navel, which is the center, you let yourself lift up, as if your upper body's a helium balloon. That's how I like to imagine it. But it's tethered to your pelvis. So it floats up and it's buoyant and it's light, but you have this foundation that is keeping you secure and stable. So first starting with that as a way to center yourself and ground. And then we start to explore the front and the back of the body. So we live our lives in the front most of the time. Walking forward, leaning forward, working forward, using our arms, seeing. So we very rarely actually get to become aware of our back. So this class is going to be, the emphasis is going to be on the back body. Because we're outside too, and we don't have a wall behind us. So we can actually practice this. This is really pretty cool. So bring your body into a straight, a nice long spine. You might rock forward and backward a little bit until you find that midpoint, that still point. Let's soften the shoulders down, soften the face, the eyes. And let's take another few moments. Let's start to deepen the breath, coming into our Ujjayi breath. So creating a rhythm that's just right for you. This is a yin-yang type of class, so more yin and slow. Being very precise and so that we can explore this asymmetry. And let's just gently open up our eyes, and let's lift the arms up to the sky and interlace the hands. I can actually say the sky and mean it. Reach up, not a ceiling, but a sky. And look, open up that chest, open up the rib cage. And then take an inhale and exhale, stretch over to the right. And let the side body open as well. Create some space in the side body. Inhale, lift back up, maybe look up, maybe look forward. And then stretch over to the left. Feeling that right side. So you'll notice one side might be tighter than the other, one side more open than the other, sore, and then release the hands down. And we're going to come onto our hands and knees. So what's perfect about doing this asymmetric class on the ground, on the grass, is that we will feel wobbly because we don't have a hard surface. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and let's just press back into a child's pose. Just keep your arms nice and long and slide them forward. And explore the symmetry between the arms, the sit bones. Let the forehead rest on the ground. And let's bring our breath to the back of our body. So it's hard to feel the back of your body for many of us when you're breathing. It's just, we breathe primarily from the front. So see if you can actually feel something, some type of stretch in the back. Both rib cages, not just one, but both. Let's take another 2 breaths here. And let's take an inhale, come into all fours. Little cats and cows. And you can go at the pace that feels best for you. Make it maybe a little bit slower than you normally would, so you can actually feel every movement of the spine, the shapes of the spine. So inhaling, arching your spine into your cow stretch, and exhaling, rounding. Now we have the ground underneath us, the softness of the grass. So we get to experience our cats and cows differently. This is a whole different experience. Evening out both sides. Let's take a few more breaths of 3 more sets. And we have the sun. Isn't it amazing? It was cloudy before. So one more set, and then let's press back into your child's pose, but this time keep your forehead off the ground. Just reach your arms forward as far as you can, as if you're trying to touch the top of the mat. And let's walk your hands over to the left, off the mat, onto the grass, on a diagonal. And press your right sit bone towards your right heel. And stretch through the right side of the body, turning your gaze to the left, or dropping, or looking downward. And let's take a few breaths here into the right back side of your body. Noticing the grass underneath your fingers and the tops of the feet. And then take an inhale and then exhale, walk your hands back to center, reaching towards the front of the mat. And then take an inhale and exhale, walk your hands over to the right. So this is just to give you some perspective that this is a yin, more of a yin class. We're slow tonight for this class. So bring your hands to the right corner, off the mat, on a diagonal, and take your left bottom cheek, press it towards your left heel. And breathe into the left side of your rib cage, the back. Oh, this feels so good, especially if you've been doing a lot of sitting. And then take an inhale and exhale back to center. Walk the hands back onto the mat. And then inhale, come into your tabletop. Let's curl the toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. And do it whatever you like to do in this downward facing dog. Let yourself bend and straighten if that feels nice, or keep it straight. And if your mind wanders off, which it will, let the breath bring you back. Let the sensations in the body keep bringing you back to this moment. Everybody press both heels towards the ground. Walk your hands a little bit closer in towards your feet, just a little bit. And then take your right hand, lift it off the ground, and place it on your lower back with the palm facing up. Press. Now you're going to notice that you're going to sway to the left. Even out the feet. So this is an asymmetric pose, and which we're trying to balance. And then take your right hand, place it next to your left hand, and then take your left hand, lift it off the ground, place it on your lower back. And take a deep breath in, press both feet evenly, even though you're going to find yourself leaning to the right. Find that midpoint, that still point, and then place your left hand next to your right. Come onto your knees and sit back on your heels. We're going to keep coming back to this. Still, it's home base or a still point. Close the eyes and notice each time we come back to this posture, you'll become more aware of a significant difference in how you feel. And then inhaling back into your tabletop, exhaling downward facing dog. Stretch through the entire length of the body. And let's start to walk your feet towards the front of the mat. So take it slow, you don't need to rush. Once you're at the front of the mat, let's come into a forward bend. It's amazing how easy it is to do this on grass, so much easier, huh? And then let the knees bend, press into the inner edges of those feet, which you'll roll out. You might find that you'll roll out a little bit more so just being on grass. Let your head drop. And then inhale halfway, either hands on the shins or fingertips on the ground, lift up halfway. That's exhale, forward fold. That's inhaling halfway, and then exhaling, forward fold. The next inhalation, let's lift all the way up, press into the ground, lift all the way up to the sky. Maybe look towards your hands as they come together above your head, hands to heart. Bring your feet so they're hip distance apart, and then press into the earth. Feel the earth underneath your feet. Soften the shoulders down. Explore symmetry in the Tadasana. Crown of the head lifts, the tailbone lengthens, the kneecaps draw up towards your thighs. Notice also how you're going to naturally rock, either forward or backward or side to side. Your body does that. It's constantly exploring balance. And then open the eyes. Let's take an inhale, swan dive your arms up to the sky. Bring the hands together above the head and float down, swan dive down, forward fold. Let's take an inhale halfway. Let's exhale, step back into your plank. You can place your knees down or up. And then lower yourself down, chaturanga, inhaling into your cobra or sphinx. Elbows squeeze in towards each other, lift your heart. If you find this really difficult, you can always place the elbows underneath your shoulders and lift your heart that way. And exhaling, pressing back up, downward facing dog. Just warming up our bodies, taking an inhale and exhaling. So from your downward facing dog, you can open up the feet just slightly wider than hip distance. Bring the hands a little bit closer in. And you're going to take your right hand, lift it up again, but this time thread it underneath your left arm. And see if you can grab hold of that left calf. If you can't do this, this is too much, bring your hands closer in towards your feet. Take a deep breath in, push that left hand down, so push the ground away with your hand, and then twist looking under your left leg. So if this is too much, or left arm, I'm sorry, you can come onto your hands and knees. And breathe in. Your knees are bent or slightly, there's a slight bend to it. And then take an inhale. And then exhale, place your right hand back next to your left hand. Take an inhale and exhale, left hand lifted up and thread it underneath your right arm and grab hold of that calf, that right calf. And inhaling and exhale, looking underneath your arm. You could actually look up at the sky and see that beautiful, those cloud formations, how beautiful they are. Press into both feet evenly, and then bring your left hand back next to your right. Lower the knees to the ground, sit back on your heels, and just take a pause. Closing the eyes. Oh. Softening the shoulders and feeling in, sensing, breathing. And then taking an inhale and exhale back into your tabletop, exhaling, curling the toes under, downward facing dog. If there's any point your wrists begin to hurt in downward facing dog, you can come onto forearms or just take a child's pose. So from here, bring your left foot in towards your right foot. Let's inhale your right leg up to the sky. Stretch through that right leg, bend your left knee. Bring your right knee in towards the center of your body. And then kick it back again, back up towards the sky. And then this time exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Open that left foot out to the left just a little bit and fold over that front leg into pyramid. You can bring your left foot closer, bring it forward a little bit if you need to. If you cannot, stretch over the front leg with the back leg wide. And then take an inhale, and as you exhale, rebend your right knee, step your left foot forward, and come back into your forward bend. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling, forward fold, and inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky, lift up, look up. And then exhale, hands to heart. So just reconnect for just a moment back to that symmetry. And then gently open the eyes. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhaling, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhaling halfway, hands on shins or fingertips on the ground. And then step your left foot back, right foot back, plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling into your cobra or sphinx. Elbows squeeze in towards each other, lift your heart. And then exhaling, downward facing dog. Take a pause here. And if, again, I won't keep reminding, but if you ever need a break, just feel free, child's pose. Perfect for you. And then in your downward facing dog, bring your right foot in towards your left foot. Lift your left leg up to the sky. You can do this on your hands and knees if this is getting to be too much. And then exhale, bring your left knee, bend it, bring it about halfway to the center of your body. And then inhale, stretch it back again. Reach it towards the sky. This time exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Bring your left foot, walk your left foot out just a touch and fold over that front leg. Now you can bring your back leg in closer if this is just way too intense. Folding over with this wide leg. Taking an inhale, and your front leg can be bent. It doesn't have to be straight. And then bend your left knee, take an inhale, and exhale, step your right foot forward next to your left, hip distance apart, inhaling halfway. Exhaling, forward fold, and inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. Hands come together above the head, hands to heart center. Take a pause here, breathing in and breathing out. Let's inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Let's exhale, forward fold. And from here, we're going to stay in a forward bend. Just open the feet a little bit wider. Bend the knees so that your belly's resting on your thighs. Take your right hand right underneath your face on your fingertips. Inhale, reach your left arm out like a wing or up to the sky. Twisting. Now notice how your body starts to lose its balance, especially the feet. So get the feet, make sure the feet are even, the hips are as even as you can. And then exhale, release that left hand down exactly where that right hand is. Place it underneath your face. Inhale, reach your right arm like a wing or up to the sky. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then exhale, lower that right hand down. Bring the feet so they're back to hip distance apart. Take an inhale halfway. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Hands reach, touch together. Exhale, hands to heart. Just take a moment here, breathing in and breathing out. So from here, bring your feet together. Let the arms float next to your sides. Take an inhale, sit in your chair pose. Take a pause, take a deep breath in, and take a deep breath out. And then sweep your arms back behind you as if you're going to leap forward and lift your heels off the ground. It might be just a little bit, it might be a lot, and you're going to wobble. So this is testing your balance skills. And then lower the heels down, keep the arms behind you, and then inhale, lift back up, lift the heels up, and exhale, lower down. One more time, inhale, lift the heels up, and then exhale, lower down, then release the hands to the ground, forward fold. Take an inhale and exhale, step back into your plank. You can take a child's pose if you would like now, or follow me through vinyasa. Lower down, chaturanga, inhale into your cobra or your upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Let's take a moment here. Lower the knees to the ground, knees wide, big toes touching. Press into a child's pose. Take a pause, keep breathing in and out. So we're now going to go a little bit further into the hip joints in a moment. From here, I want you to bring the breath back into the back body. Reconnect with the back. And then take an inhale, come into all fours. Curl the toes under, downward facing dog. So this is something I actually did today in one of my classes, which I love. Bring your left foot in towards your right foot. Let's inhale your right leg up to the sky. Let's exhale, step the right foot to the outside of that right hand, either on the mat or slightly off. Open that left foot out to the left a little bit, or as wide. You want to use the whole entire mat. Curl the back toes under, so you're in a lunge, yeah? And your hands are underneath your face, so your wrists are underneath underneath your shoulders. And we're in a lizard. Now what I want us to do is come onto our fingertips and take an inhale, open up the chest into a cow shape. You can always place your left knee down if it's too much. And then exhaling, rounding into a cat, but still maintaining the lunge in, so the knee stays bent. Back and forth, cat and cow. Not just the head, see if you can get the back involved, the chest involved. There's not much movement here. Working on the back of the body. And then inhale, come back into a neutral spine. Keep your legs as they are. Just walk your hands now off the mat, onto the grass, into a downward facing lunge dog. If that makes sense. So the back toes are turned under, the right toes are here, yeah? So you're in a lunge like that, but you're just bringing the hands over here, yeah? I know. It's funny, I do it on camera and I don't notice that. Yeah, it seems like it's easy. So press both hands into the ground as if you're doing a downward facing dog with your upper body and a lunge with your lower body. And if it's too much, just do just do whatever feels actually really good. Doesn't matter exactly how it looks, just that it feels nice. And then walk your hands back onto the mat, into your lunge, and step back, downward facing dog. Yeah. Do you feel it? It's great, isn't it? I love it. It's one of my favorites now. And then just lower the knees to the ground. Sit back on your heels and just take a pause here, feeling it. Checking in with yourself every so often. And let's take an inhale and exhale into your into your all fours, curling the toes under, downward facing dog. Bring your right foot in towards your left foot. This side will be a little easier because you'll know you have an idea what's happening. Left leg lifts up to the sky, and then exhale, step your left foot to the outside of that left hand. You might have to assist it. And then open your right foot, just walk it over to the right side of the mat. Keep your back toes turned under, if you can. If not, flatten out the feet. And your hands are inside your left foot, yeah? And we're doing a few little cats and cows. If you can come onto the fingertips, that's great. It helps to kind of lift you up a little bit higher. Take an inhale, lift your heart forward, and then exhale, round. And inhale forward, so you're doing a cat and cow in a lizard posture. And then one more time, inhale, return to neutral spine, and your feet stay as is. Just walk your hands to the right corner off the mat. Hands are shoulder distance apart. Take an inhale and exhale, downward facing dog lunge. Soften the shoulders, relax the face. Whew. Breathing, feeling the back of the body. So obviously more the hips, but also the back of the body. And then walk your hands back onto the mat. Step back into your downward facing dog. And then lower the knees to the ground, sit back into a child's pose. Let yourself just rest here for a moment. Keep your breath moving in and out. Reconnect with the back of your body again. Wiggle around till the hips are even. Inhaling and exhaling. One more deep breath in. And out, listening to the sounds around you. Inhaling into your tabletop again. Exhaling, downward facing dog. And then walk, or if you're a jumper, jump to the front of the mat. Once you're at the front of the mat, forward fold. Open the feet so they're a little bit wider than hip distance. Bend the knees. So we're going to do the same twist that we did before. The only difference is the right hand is not underneath the face. It's right in front of the left foot. Just makes it a little bit more asymmetric. Lift your left arm up to the sky. And explore symmetry in the asymmetry. So we're learning how to cope with when things don't work out the way we wish they would, right? And then lower your left hand down. Just take a moment here. Bend the knees, just kind of a little bit of a squat. Opposite hand, opposite elbow. Just shake out those shoulders. And then let's take the left hand, place it in front of your right foot, and then take an inhale, and as you exhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. The knees stay bent here. You don't need to straighten the legs. Find symmetry in this pose. And then lower the hands, the right hand back down. Let's take a deep breath in. Bend the knees generously and slowly roll yourself up to standing. And then bring the feet so they're hip distance apart and take a moment here. Reaching the arms up. Bring the hands together above the head and lean back into a crescent shape. Oh. And let the hands float to your heart, and this time stand tall in your mountain pose and close the eyes just for a moment. Breathing in and breathing out. Then just let your eyes gently open. And I'll swing around for this so you get this side. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a flow. You're going to lift your right leg up into a stag pose, so 90-degree angle. Hug that knee into your chest. Now, I know it's tough on the grass. And then from here, you're going to let the arms float let them rest next to your sides and step your right foot back. So asymmetry, I know you're off balance, I know, until finally you touch down into a lunge with the toes curled under, back toes curled under, and your heels up. Reach your arms up to the sky. Then exhale, open the arms out to the sides and twist to the left, creating symmetry in an asymmetric posture. Inhale, reach your arms up. How you doing, guys? I know I'm struggling. And then twist. And one more time, inhale, lift. Now, take an inhale and exhale, float the arms next to your sides, lean forward, put pressure on that left leg, the weight on the left leg, and lift yourself back up into that stag. And hands down. Oh, you did it? Yeah, good. And just take a moment here, just standing and feeling. Okay, so I'll spin around to the other end of the mat and we'll do the other side, the left leg. So pick your left leg up, bring your arms up to hug it in. That's the first thing. And then keep the leg in front, arms just dangling next to your sides. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, step your left foot back. See if you can do it in slow motion. It's fun. This is supposed to be fun. Curl the back toes under, heels are up, you're in a lunge. Ah. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, crescent lunge, and then exhale, open the arms out to the sides and twist. Woo. Inhale, reach back up. Lots of core work happening here, lots of core strength, and then twist. And then one more time, lift up, And then exhale the hands, let them drop next to your sides. Take an inhale and exhale, lean forward. Putting the weight all onto that right leg. Lift your left leg up. You could slide it, unless I'm spitting. And then lift your left leg up and lower down. You might notice one side's a little easier than the other. Take a moment here in Tadasana with the palms facing forward. Whew, be proud of yourself for having survived that. Let your eyes open, reach your arms up, looking up towards your fingers, and exhale, forward fold. Let's inhale halfway. Let's exhale, step back into our downward facing dog. And just shake your head no and shake your head yes. And then lower the knees to the ground. And press back into a child's pose. And take a pause. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's take an inhale. Let's come back into all fours. Let's exhale, downward facing dog. Step back, into downward facing dog. Let's either step or jump to the front of the mat. You can take big steps, little steps, jumping steps, and forward fold. Take your arms, wrap them around the backs of those legs or on the heels, wherever you can, the calves. Bring your forehead, and you can bend the knees if you'd like, or whatever feels good for you, straight legs. And give yourself a moment here to stretch out the backs. The back of the body, breathing into the back of the body. And then take an inhale, release the hands from the legs, and I want us to ragdoll roll up, one vertebra at a time. The arms are dangling. We're leading with the back body, not the front body, but the back body. And once you lift up, let yourself lean back. I call this the drunken back bend or drunken posture or something. I feel like a drunken, somebody who's been drinking a lot. Leaning back, and then inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. So we're going to do another balance. I'll spin around so you can actually see me. Okay, so the left leg is your standing leg. Pick your right leg up. So now that we've had a little bit of a practice. And from here, there's options. You could take your right hand, left hand on your hip, right hand on your knee, and open it out to the side. So that might be just enough. Some of us are going to peace sign our right big toe or grab hold of the ankle. Bring that heel in towards your pelvis and then open that right leg out. Interesting on grass. Much different. And maybe the left arm reaches out to the side. Lots of concentration here. Focus. Don't give up. You just kind of drop down and then try again. And then lower that right foot down. Let's do figure eights. Loosen up our hips. I love the figure eights too. Okay, so we have another side, right? Okay, and notice which side is better. You know, if you have an easier side. So right leg obviously is your standing leg. And first ground down, lift your left leg up. Give yourself a little hug here. This is not my best side, I have to say. Then right hand on the right hip, left hand opens up. The left knee. You might stay right here. If you're struggling, and then maybe peace sign that big toe, that left big toe with your thumb, index finger, and middle finger. Bring the heel in towards you first, towards the pelvis, and then lift, straighten that left leg. Or keep it bent, it doesn't have to be straight. And maybe right arm out. So we're creating symmetry in a very asymmetric shape. Balance, yeah. This took years to do. I just have to, so if you're struggling, don't worry about it. This was a long time coming. Oops, the rain. And then come on down. Okay, that's you're at the front of the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Let's exhale, forward fold. Step back into our downward facing dog. One more vinyasa, or you can take a child's pose. Follow me into your plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale into the cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Lower the knees to the ground and just take a pause. Take a moment. So the rest is a lot of stretching. Okay, let's slowly lift ourselves up. We're coming onto our bottoms. I'll face you this way. Okay, so we're going to extend our legs forward. We're going to do a turtle. We did a baby turtle today, right? We'll do a turtle, but we're not yet. We're not ready yet. So first start with the feet slightly wider, probably as wide as the width of your mat, and let's fold forward. How are you doing with your forward bends? Is it getting better? I can tell. Really good.
I'm more flexible than I was.
Yeah. It's good. You have to keep at it, don't you? And then slowly lift yourself back up. And we're going to bring those legs closer, a little bit closer in. Bring that right knee in towards you. And then just place it down on the ground, flat, about a hand's width away from the inner thigh. So you can bring your right arm inside. So I'll show you from like this, inside, yeah? And your arms are going to frame, your hands are going to frame your left foot. Left leg, I'm sorry, left leg. You don't have to touch your feet. And fold down. So you're going to feel the back, middle back stretching. This is a great stretch for your middle back. And let the breath flow here. Using the breath to help kind of warm up the spine. And then from here, you're going to roll up about halfway. Place your right hand directly next to the left calf. Press into that right knee. Take your left hand behind your sacrum, and we're going to twist to the left. Using the right hand to press down into the ground, left hand to press down. If you're a binder, you could bind, if anybody likes to bind. But I won't do a bind. And you should feel this amazing spinal twist. Soften the shoulders down and spread those collarbones. So imagine that someone has their hands on your shoulders and they're spreading those collarbones, spreading your shoulders, and then spin forward. And then release your right leg forward, let's just fold forward. Legs are wide. Let yourself soften down. Little shakes of the back. And then slowly lift yourself up, one vertebra at a time. Round up, just like a ragdoll roll. Lift, 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 lift. And then we have the other side. So take your left foot, hug it in. Make sure it's about a hand's width away from the inner thigh, the right inner thigh, and bring your left arm inside, your left leg. So we're framing the right leg, we're folding forward. You're not going to go far here. This is not a shape that we can go bend too far forward, but we want the back of the body to be stretching. And see if you can squeeze that left knee into your left shoulder. And then from here, just lift up about halfway. Left hand stays on the ground. Come onto the fingertips of that left hand. Right arm, swing it around so it's directly behind your sacrum. And then take an inhale, lift up nice and tall. Squeeze your left knee in, breathe a little bit closer in. Yeah, and then twist and soften the shoulders down. You're actually doing really well too, Brita. Yeah. And spread the collarbones apart. This is something I picked up along the way, of the collarbones. It just adds to to some of these twists. And then spin forward. Now we're not done yet, just reach your left leg forward, let's fold forward again. Not quite ready for baby turtle. Almost ready. I want to do one more thing before we go into baby turtle. So let's lift up nice and tall. So what you're going to do is you're going to this time take your right hand, right leg, bring it inside your right foot or ankle. If you can't get hold of the foot comfortably, then grab hold of the ankle. So you're in a bow and arrow. Bring your left leg in, like you're in a half or cross-legged. Now you have an option here to just straighten that right leg or keep it bent and look towards the arrow. Now if you want to add a bow to it, grab hold of the ankle of that left foot or peace sign that big toe, lift the heel up and balance. It's nice on the grass, isn't it? And then just look at the arrow. So you have to see where you're shooting the arrow and open up the chest, spread those collarbones, and then keep everything as is. Just bring your right foot inside your left foot. You know what we're doing here. I love it. And see if you can place them together but hover them off the ground. So you're in Baddha Konasana but hovering off the ground. Bring the heels in, knees wide, lift the chest. And then let's place that right foot down, grab hold of that left foot, so as if you're in a half a happy baby. So the left foot now. Yeah, I'll swing here so you can actually see me. Yeah. And then take your right, either grab hold of the ankle of that right, grab hold of the ankle of the right leg or the big toe, and then bring that heel in towards you, and while you straighten your left leg, looking towards that left leg, softening the shoulders down, spreading those collarbones. Really pretty. Okay, so bring the feet back in just like we did before. If you're okay, if you need a break, take a moment, or otherwise into that balancing Baddha Konasana. Now you want to add on to this? Yeah. Either grab hold of the big toes or the ankles. Straighten the legs. If you fall on grass. It's not such a big deal. If this is too much, then grab hold of your ankles. It's just fun stuff, right? It doesn't have to be serious. Now, this is even more fun. Open the legs, lower them down to the width of your mat. Okay, now you want to do turtle. So bend the knees. You're probably very warmed up for this now. You're perfect. You're going to lean forward first, between the legs, arms inside the legs. So you think of yourself as a turtle, your hands are flippers. Take your left hands underneath your left ankle. So that's a little flipper. Right hand underneath your right. And then start to straighten those legs. Now, if you want to go deeper into this, you could bring the arms back behind you. That's for a bigger, that's not a baby flipper. I mean baby turtle. Let's do baby. And then start to straighten those legs and lean forward. See if you can get your chest to the ground. Open up that chest. You're getting there. I think, Brita, you've really come far. God. And then slowly lift yourself up. And hug your knees into your chest. And swing your legs, you're already there. to the front of the mat. Oh, and you have an option of rolling down onto your back. Or as you know, you've been with me long enough, you can come into a boat. Since we're very strong now. The arms out to the sides, and you can hold the boat. You can straighten the legs, I mean. And we can show off to all these people, right? And then we have to do this now. Lower down, and maybe just hover. And then lift back up. And Mary's like, oh my God, don't worry. And one more time, and then lower down. Oh, stretch through the arms, stretch through the legs. Whew. Not much left to do. Hug your knees into your chest. Spinal twist. Let the arms float out to the sides. Drop your knees to the left. As we begin to prepare for our Shavasana. So nice looking up at the sun. Up at the sky. Closing the eyes or keeping the gaze upwards. And then lift your knees back up, give yourself a hug, maybe forehead to knees to stretch out the spine. And then open up the arms again, and then drop the knees to the right. Turn your gaze to the left. It's much easier to do a spinal twist on the grass. And then pick your legs back up. And you might decide at this point, give yourself a hug for the Shavasana, put on some socks. Put on extra clothing. If you have a blanket, throw on a blanket. So if you want to if you don't have it, then we're going to settle into our Shavasana. So Shavasana is where the feet are open with the width of the mat. Your arms are resting a few inches from your sides. You could wiggle around till your body literally melts into the earth. Chin is slightly tucked. Shoulders are relaxed. Close the eyes, or if it feels nice to look up, that you do what feels good. And for the next few minutes, you're going to just be lying here, relaxing, being in Shavasana. And I'll let you know when we're ready to come out. And you can always sit up if you want to. You don't have to do it lying down if you have a cough or something. So let's start to gently wake up, bringing movement to fingers, bringing movement to toes. Start to feel the outer edges of your body. Feel the back of the body, the front of the body. And then start to deepen the breath. Feel the breath as it fills your rib cage. And then closing the distance between your legs. Take a deep breath in and extend the arms away from the legs. Stretch the entire length of your body. And then as you exhale, hug your knees into your chest. And when you're ready, roll onto your right side and pause in a fetal shape. Just take a moment here, being still, checking in with yourself without any judgment, just observing. And then when you are ready, you take your time gently and slowly find your way into your cross-legged seat. So back to where we started our practice. Different sounds. Weather has changed a little bit. Air's a little cooler. Notice all these changes just from the beginning to the end, so 60 minutes, but how change is constant. So we spend our entire day really recalibrating, either consciously or unconsciously. Our bodies are recalibrating themselves. Our mental state is our emotional state, our spiritual. So this practice was all about exploring asymmetry, which is part of life, but how we can find some symmetry in that asymmetry. And this is what we take with us off the mat into the world. As we bring our hands in front of our heart to seal the practice for this session. Thank you so much for being with me. Namaste, everyone. Thank you. This is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com. Thank you. Thank you, guys.